History unfolding in the Middle East. The U.S. and Israel carrying out an unprecedented military operation, crippling Tehran's leadership by taking out Iran's supreme leader, along with dozens of other top. Trump urging Iran not to return fire or face, quote, force that has never been seen before.
The sentiment for Iranian American.
All right, so welcome back to Quality TV. And just in this past week, the conflict between the U.S. and Iran has escalated dramatically.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
We are facing an act of aggression, and obviously we have every right to defend ourselves.
We've been hit.
So in this video, I'm going to break down three things: the long history between the U.S. and Iran, what happened in the last week, and what we can expect from it. Part 1, the long history between the United States and Iran. Conflict between the United States and Iran did not start this year. Soon after the revolution, Iranian militants stormed the U.S. embassy and took 52 diplomatic hostages for 444 days.
This picture tells it all. This flag was apparently taken from someone's office inside the United States Embassy. It was burned Tuesday evening outside the embassy's gates. To the Iranian demonstrators who set fire to it, this was a symbol of victory. 2 days earlier, several hundred young people, mainly students at Tehran University, had taken over the embassy. "We are not occupiers," they said. "We have thrown out the occupiers." But instead of chasing all the Americans out of the compound, the Iranians imprisoned them in a building somewhere on these grounds. They have been hostages ever since. This morning, for the first time since the hostages were put under lock and key, one of the captives, blindfolded, was brought out into the open. He is Harry Rosen, the embassy's press attaché. He was turned to face reporters and cameramen and several hundred Iranian demonstrators outside the embassy's gates. "Yankee, go home," they cried, but they made no attempt to harm him. Eventually, he was led back to join the other captives who have been kept out of sight,
which completely shattered relationships between the two countries. Since then, the tension has never really gone away.
Iraq is seeing its deadliest wave of violence in years. Car bombs aimed at Iraqi police and soldiers killed 6 troops today, taking the death toll in attacks across that country since Monday to 63. No one has claimed responsibility for the bombs, but government officials are pointing the finger at Sunni insurgents linked to al-Qaeda.
And over the years, the U.S. has accused Iran of supporting militant groups in the region, developing ballistic missiles, and in the latest issue with Iran has been their uranium enrichment programs. For a decade, Iran and the U.S. has been fighting indirectly through sanctions, cyber attack, proxy conflicts across the Middle East.
Firing, as you they took quite a few wounded there. I believe one special forces as well. There's also a shot, I think, there of a gentleman wounded coming out on a stretcher and firing as he's still on a stretcher.
And I think we're not there yet. I know the shot you're talking about, it's a remarkable scene. What we're seeing now is, I don't know if these are medics or soldiers running across now to where it looks like at least a couple of guys are down.
Yes, those were first casualties there. I believe one of the first ones was a severe leg injury, and they had to try to get that person out as fast as possible.
Obviously under fire. We're hearing a lot of gunfire from both sides. Was this small arms fire that's being aimed at you guys?
Well, it was small arms fire. There was larger automatic weapons fire. A lot of RPGs started coming in. It was pretty obvious that they had range on us near the end for sure. But we took it from a lot of different places. It was interesting because the group that we were with was not a normal fighting unit. They were put together from another group of units. They expect the lightest contact where we were, and it turned out to probably be the heaviest.
Now we're seeing what looks like someone on a Bradley essentially charging. Are you, at this point, do they decide to rush?
And now we have moved into direct military conflict with Iran.
Earlier coming in from the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, as they say, they carried out a wave of strikes that started overnight targeting the sites in Tehran that are crucial to Iran's ballistic missile deployment and storage. The Israeli Defense Forces saying that they struck Iranian operations who were preparing a missile launcher to be used against the Israeli aircraft in the area, preventing a launch overall. Now, Iran's Revolutionary Guard saying that it fired missiles at Israel with a 1-ton warhead. The IRGC claiming attacks as well in Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UAE. Of course, we're getting a lot of that video coming into our newsroom, so we will continue to bring that to you as we get it. Again, that is just some of the video coming in.
That leads us to part 2. What has happened so far in the war this week? So at the time of this recording, we're on day 7. So far this week, 6 U.S. service members has been killed in the conflict.
Learning new information about the 6 individuals, or 4 of these 6, that paid the ultimate sacrifice as 6 U.S. service members died following and in support of Operation Epic Fury. We're learning their identities tonight, and I want to put up some of these here on Live Now from Fox as we continue on, including Captain Cody Cork of Lakeland, Florida. Also, we are following First Class Captain of Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore of White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Also a Sergeant First Class there, Noah Tejans of Bellevue, Nebraska, and Sergeant Declan Cody of Des Moines, Iowa. They were deployed out of Iowa as these now 4 of these 6 individuals identified following that incident in Kuwait. And you can just see here again, a 35, 42, 39, and 20-year-old losing their lives. And on social media, Major General saying to the families and teammates of those in the Cactus Nation soldiers, you have my deepest sympathy and respect. Our nation is kept safe by folks like these brave men and women who put it all on the line every single day. They represent the heart of America. We will remember their names, their service, and their sacrifice.
U.S. Central Command reported over 3,000 strikes. One of the most dramatic moments is when the U.S. submarine sank an Iranian naval vessel.
It is its 6th day, and let's get right to the big story. The U.S. and Israel ramping up attacks on Iran, striking major cities Qom and Isfahan. The IDF released this extraordinary video of an Israeli F-35 in a mid-air dogfight with an Iranian jet, and this new video of U.S. forces destroying what the Pentagon describes as an advanced Iranian warship with a torpedo fired from a submarine. They say 20 Iranian ships have been sunk, and as the military takes out more enemy missile launchers, Central Command is downplaying the concern about the supply of missile interceptors. They say the number of missile attacks from Iran has dropped nearly 90%, and that drone launches are down more than 70%.
We have sufficient precision munitions for the task at hand, both on the offense and defense.
On that Iranian ship, with 87 sailors killed, 61 remain missing, and 32 were rescued after the attack. And across the wider conflict, the United States has sank over 40 Iranian Navy vessels. Also, again, one of the most shocking developments during this initial week, the Supreme Leader being killed, which has created major uncertainty about who will lead Iran going forward.
All the people you did have in mind have been taken out.
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So, we had some in mind from that group that is dead. And now we have another group, they may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody.
And as they were in the middle of selecting a new supreme leader, Israel attacked that site, also killing that potential candidate for supreme leader. Now we have to talk about Iran's retaliation. After the initial strikes, Iran responded quickly with missiles and drones attacks across the region. They've attacked more than 12 countries in that region, including Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and also reports of a missed attack in Dubai.
Iran's retaliation across the region, drawing more than a dozen nations into this conflict. A UK fighter jet shooting down an Iranian drone over Jordan. NATO intercepting a missile over Syria headed for Turkey. An image showing a man standing near an unexploded missile near the airport in northeastern Syria. More explosions reported in Tehran. Meanwhile, Secretary Pete Hegseth revealing the mastermind behind the 2024 plot to assassinate Donald Trump has been killed.
And at the same time, back home here in America, there's plenty of backlash in Washington.
We want to stop Donald Trump with this random decision that he has arrived at, then Congress must act.
The war is causing serious division between Democrats and Republicans, which was already a major conflict in the United States between the two parties.
The American people do not want our sons and daughters to go into this unauthorized war of choice, and I unequivocally oppose it.
Many Democrats criticizing President Trump for launching the strikes without congressional approval.
Well, the administration has failed to provide any justification for these preemptive strikes.
The Democrats attempted to invoke the War Powers Resolution, which would have limited Trump's ability to perform his military actions.
A blow for patriotism. I am told that the War Powers Act rollback lost 52-47. John Fetterman voted with the Republicans, and my friend Rand Paul, a libertarian, voted against. Is that true? Is the thing dead now? Is it dead and buried, Senator?
Well, this one's dead and buried. Now, if we're going to Cuba, we'll go somewhere.
But the resolution did fail, and Congress voted against it. So right now, there's no stopping the current campaign in the Middle East. And this leads us into the last part, how this conflict can affect Americans back home. A big part of the answer to this question comes down to oil. Iran sits next to one of the most important shipping routes in the world, which is called the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 1/5 of the world's oil supply moves through this narrow waterway every day. If the conflict disrupts shipping, it could possibly be an effect on the global energy market. Even limited conflict in the region could affect global oil prices and energy prices. And with that, we will end the video. I know there's a lot of uncertainty, but I do believe that we're on the right side of history. So I have to ask you guys a question. What do you think Iran would truly do if they were nuclear armed? Do you think they would bully the neighboring countries? And as always, thank you guys for tuning in to Quality TV. I'm the reporter, and I'll see you next time.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?